Good morning from Phnom Penh. We're sitting by the riverbank having a little bit of breakfast before heading off to see the Royal Palace and the Silver Pagoda. After that, we'll make our way to the Genocide Museum. Practical tip about the Royal Palace, it closes between the hours of 12 and 2, so make sure to get there early or after 2 p.m. to see it. And it's 8 a.m., so let's head off to the Royal Palace.
A little fact about Phnom Penh before we go to the Royal Palace. Actually, it was capital of Cambodia or the kingdoms of this region on and off several times before becoming the final capital, being moved from the Angkor region here because of the more strategic position of this location, mostly because of the rivers. We are standing at the confluence of the Tonle Sap River behind me with the Mekong River just over there, which provided really secure shore on one side of the city.
Behind us is the Royal Palace. It was built between 1866 and 1870 after King Norodom relocated the capital from Udong to Phnom Penh. Let's go check it out. Pro tip, the entrance is along the east gate toward the Chanchaya Pavilion, this way. We're in the Royal Palace. We just purchased our tickets, $10 a piece for a total of 20. And once you come through the gate, they also hand you a helpful little map of the Royal Palace to give you an idea of where you're going. So let's go check it out. Behind us is the main pavilion. It's close to the public, but you can peer through the door. First stop on our visit, the Victory Gate, right behind us.
Do you remember how in Indonesia we had the dragons ornating the balustrades? Similar motif was present in Vietnam, and in here it is a snake of several heads, and if you look very closely, it is actually being actively devoured by something like a crocodile or dragon, or maybe it is another snake. If you look very closely to the corners of the buildings and tops of the columns, in the very corner you have Garuda, the flying bird-like god, and on every other column there is a representation of an angel. Birds, just like elephants, are sacred animals here in Cambodia. We have reached the north perimeter of the visiting zone. And behind these walls, there's a zone for the king himself. Apparently, he has 1,000 staff, including gardeners, guards, and servants.
The Khmer architecture here is super impressive, but there's one building that is completely different from Khmer architecture. It's right here. It was a building given by Napoleon III to King Norodom.
These are elephant hoda, or seats, for riding elephants, and a little elephant shrine. We are at the exit from the royal palace, so this is the last peak. And on the right, there is a little palace store, but everything is being currently closed for the midday break.
We just finished walking through the royal palace, and I have to say that I was pretty impressed with the Khmer architecture on each of the buildings.
It was pretty cool that we were able to enter the royal premises and have a sneak peek of the royal life. Actually, the complex is not that big, but the part available to tourists is quite substantial. Knowing that the king still lives there, it's a pretty nice thing that we could do.
Yeah. It's easy to get lost in there, and we got here at 9, and we unfortunately got kicked out at 11 a.m. because they closed for about 3 hours during the middle of the day and reopen at 2 p.m. So this is why we're recording outside. Here, you'll see the gate behind us. This was open earlier, but now they've closed for a small break in the middle of the day. So get here early, otherwise they're going to be chasing you out of the complex.
We're not kidding. They will be chasing you out very actively. And well, so once again, we visited an activity that cost us $10 that we only had 2 hours to visit. So we came at 9. Please come around 8. Otherwise, it's probably not worth it. And just for comparison, the entrance to the Singapore National Museum was 10 Singaporean dollars. That is cheaper than the US dollar. And we spent several hours there and learned a lot about Singaporean history. Here, again, there was not much explanation. Maybe this is the prompt to hire a local guide to tell us more about the history. So no explanation whatsoever. You also cannot enter many of the buildings. The 2 buildings that you can actually enter is the Royal Pavilion, where you can see the throne, but you can only see it through the door. You cannot enter and you cannot take pictures. And the second one is the Silver Pagoda. You can enter, but you cannot take pictures. So basically everything that you can see is from the outside. Yeah, and it was quite a quick tour, being chased by the guards, not always in a friendly way. So the general evaluation?
3 for me.
Yeah, so again, we're impressed, but a little bit disappointed, and we're not really sure how we feel about our experience in Cambodia so far. But crossing fingers that it gets better from here.
We're heading off to, I think we'll do lunch now.
Yes.
No? All right. See you in the next one.
See you. One last thing, because I didn't have a chance to say it from in front of the Silver Pagoda, is that it's really nice and beautiful. Apparently there are silver tiles outside, that's why it's called Silver Pagoda, and there are many objects inside, actually a good mix of different things, including white weapons like sabers, and many big and small statuettes of Buddha. But the 2 things that you should really pay attention to are the first, obviously, the Emerald Buddha. It's really impressive. It's not too big, maybe this size, but it's on this this altar or this throne. I don't know how they refer to it. It's really impressive because I have impression it's like one big piece of emerald. Really nice to see. And the second thing, there's a golden statue of Buddha. It's basically human size, and it's pure gold, and apparently it was ornated with over 1,000 diamonds.
Yeah.
But many of these diamonds, and especially the biggest ones, were lost during the revolution. So when you check out the silver pagoda, make sure to pay attention to those two figures, but the building and everything inside is obviously worth
Very cool.
it. And this is my short report from the silver pagoda, or actually from the palace gate.
One last thing, fact about Cambodia is that the monarchy was abolished during the revolution, but it was later reestablished after the revolution, and this is the only communist country with a king.
So we visited the palace. The heat is already really, really high, and it's time for lunch and noon break. So we hit the same restaurant where we've been yesterday because the food is amazing. Once again, the selection of the Khmer food is quite small. There's a lot of Western food and other Thai, Japanese, and so. But we opted for the Khmer curry, vegetarian version once again, and fried rice. We do not know how much it is a Khmer dish, but obviously we love it from Indonesia, so we stick to it very, very often. And my very favorite in Southeast Asia, coconut. I think this is one of the biggest coconuts I ever encountered. So really happy to be enjoying this drink today. Let's have lunch.
We're currently at Tuol Sleng, otherwise known as S21, which is a secret center of a network of prisons that was built during the Khmer Rouge to imprison between 12,000 and 20,000 people. Only 12 of them have been confirmed as survivors, so we're going to spend the afternoon learning about a little bit more about this dark period in Cambodia's history. Just finished visiting Tuol Sleng S21, and I have to say it's quite astonishing things that people can do to other people. There are four or five buildings here on this complex, and each of them was dedicated to different things for prisoners that were brought here. Might say come and check it out if you're in Phnom Penh.
Yeah, so we're very moved, and we just wanted to share this moment of emotion with you. I'm personally very touched. It happened only 10 years before I was born, so very, very recent history of Cambodia. And I think it helps me understand a little bit better the society. We only arrived a few days ago. We had some ups and downs, but they went through a lot in a very, very recently. And we really appreciated this place. It's very nicely organized, and the audiobook is very helpful to understand what happened. And as the last recording says in this audiobook, well, now that we visited, we're witness to this history, and we must carry it on. So we just wanted to share a little bit of this history with you. It's not as joyful as we usually are, but this is also a part of history. So please come and visit this place. It's very important.
Yeah, check it out when you're here. This is what torrential rain looks like in Cambodia. We're just sitting down for dinner, and I'm really excited about this one. We're getting a bunch of little plates. Have our fresh sugarcane juice here. More of them are on the way. Thank you. And here, first one, we have chicken wingtips, fried chicken wingtips. They're covered in, I think it's like onion, chili peppers, a few other herbs and spices here. And then you have, I think these are the mushrooms. We'll find out. Awesome, thank you. We have fried eggs here, which are a little bit different from how I know fried eggs. So that's really cool to see. It reminds me of crème brûlée in France. But it looks pretty yummy. So let's dig in.
Just like the weather got out of hand, we also decided to be a little bit more spontaneous tonight, and we went for real street food. So usually we will go to Google Maps and double check the reviews just to see if the place is like legit and tasty. Today we're like on total experiment. I think this place is not even on Google Maps and doesn't have any reviews. And another novelty here, we tried to do a little bit more vegetarian dishes. Today is all about meat. And not only about meat, we also will be eating by hands. There are no utensils whatsoever on this table. There are just tiny spoons for the sauce if you like it spicy. There's a ton of meat. And where is the hand sanitizer? Because these things are gonna get dirty. Let's go. Look at this. Look at this. And now I put this inside. Awesome. Thank you. So we just got a lesson of how to eat properly because we knew nothing. So first you put a lime, squeeze in this inside, and then you have a ready mix of, you add a little bit of sugar. And then you have this. This is a mix of pepper and salt. It's already mixed. And actually when you open it, the pepper is fresh, so it goes to your nose directly, watch out. And then in this little jar, you have marinated garlic. When you open it, it like also, you can smell the garlic right away. You mix it all, and now you can, I will just double check with my expert here. Now you eat it. We would be so lost here without our neighbors. Let me see. I don't even know what it is. What is it? What did you order? Some kind of meat. I had meat before, but like this brings me to entirely different level of flavors that you would normally not expect. We learn new things every day. Every day.
This one's super cool. I've never seen an egg made like this, but I really like how it was placed into this little bowl, and I think it's placed in the oven. So just want to see how tasty this is. Yum, super yummy. I think I can add a little bit of the lime, actually. I'll try some of this. Mix that in a bit. Wow, even better.